Welcome to the third episode of the Crypto Spendthrift Podcast. So far, we're 2 episodes more than I thought I'd ever do. And we're going to keep doing it as long as I really care to do it. We'll see how long that lasts, though. But, there's not really an apparent quality upgrade this time around, unfortunately. It's been more of me looking into what to improve. Your website's really bugging me, but that's kind of a giant box to open to improve. And even if I do make it look nice, what's there to post on it? All I post on it right now is podcasts. Maybe if I start writing, that'll have its old little overhaul, but until then, I don't see any kind of future for an upgrade on the website end. That's besides the point. You don't want to hear me talk about my lack of doing quality upgrades, because probably not that many people listen to it, so it's not that important right now. What's important is I'm doing this. Okay, on to the first segment, Bitcoin, Ether, they're really showing out. We're hitting the big 3K with Bitcoin. Ether's going up too. All these main gains of these two is kind of killing some of these altcoins. They're dying out there. Let's see, Scicoin. I guess that's been kind of stagnant. I guess the Polynex thing probably influenced its price a bit to be not as high as it could be. But we'll see. It still has plenty of potential. Wings dying, getting shot down by all those hunters, Forecasting didn't bring a price rise like I honestly expected. The forecasting actually killed its price, it seems. Or maybe it was just super pumped up and it's just correcting. But Wings isn't as correcting as hard as DGB is right now. Digibytes is just dying. If you look at it at a weekly like in the last week, it's just dying. But if you look at it from a monthly standpoint, it's still up almost 1,000%. So it may look like it's going down. It's over. It's time to abandon ship because it's failed coin. When in reality, it's only a failed coin if you just recently got on it. Let's see, Ubiq went up. Not really a big gain, but solid like few percent compared to how everything else was just abandoning ship and dying. Then we got Stratus going down, I think that was another one that was riding the hype train a bit too high, and then people thought it could only go higher, and they were proven wrong. Waves, not really much happening. I think it only went up $1-ish in the last week. Verge is finally dying. That's pretty unsurprising. Like, it was an overhyped, not really useful coin. Just in my opinion. I mean, it seemed like it was saying it could do a lot, but hasn't really shown anything yet. So maybe in the future it can redeem itself. But for now, the price dying off is expected and deserved. Swarm City, I think that's a little higher. It's also a little higher than it should be. But, I'll keep looking at it. So, today, Bancor's ICO is starting, and it's pretty anticipated compared to a lot of these other smaller ICOs, which, if you're only putting in money in these overhyped ones, then you're really doing yourself a disservice. But that's besides the point. Well, for now at least. But yeah, Bancor ICO is out, or will be, by the time this podcast is seen. And it's claiming to to basically create a whole ecosystem out of its own protocol. And one of the podcasts, either the first or the second one, not a lot of recollection to happen, but one of those two podcasts, I mentioned something about having an ecosystem behind your coin usually makes it super valuable. Well, looks like that's what they're shooting for, but the way they're doing it, well, not the way they're doing this, but the way they're doing their ICO is really peeving people the wrong way. And we'll just have to see what happens afterwards. But in a later discussion, in like section 2 discussion, well, actually, just screw that. We'll talk about that now. The way this thing is really peeving people is because just how this ICO is basically taking how startups in more real world applications are acting. People come up with this solution that's not really a solution to anything, or that's a copy to something that already exists. But the difference between what already exists and it are people who can have that marketing ability to overhype it. And then you have this basically product or service that's overhyped. And some people think it's totally new when it's not. Which leads to this overvaluation of this thing, and what was originally there is just left in the dust and sent to the graveyard because it's unfunded and unknown compared to this overhyped version that just came out. That's basically what Bancor is mirroring, and that's why it's kind of overvalued. It will probably be overvalued when it comes out the gate. But these ICOs, it doesn't matter if they're overvalued, undervalued, they usually still give people profit. But if you're looking for this in the long term, I don't think there's a long term. I think there's probably going to be a lot of controversy about it for a while. And you're going to have to really hold. And you're going to be holding and be hoping that it doesn't get ejected they don't just go, oh well, we tried and this is all we can deliver. But we'll see. There's not a lot of hope in something that's can't think of the word for it, but I think I'll elaborate on this Bancor issue in a YouTube video or something. Maybe. Depends on how I'm feeling. Yeah. But more than likely in the next few days, or maybe even tomorrow, there'll be a kind of video with links to stuff that kind of highlights the overlooming issues or controversies or just red flags that people should probably start thinking about before they just throw their money in for this short-term gain that might not even happen since it's uncapped ICO. So I think I kind of rambled on about the evil Bancor, which I make it sound like I hate this thing, but I really don't care all that much. I'm not gonna put anything in it and not really harming me. It's not like a super scam, so I have to PSA people about it, but it's really not any harsh feelings. Not any harsh feelings specifically toward Bancor, but more like the kind of air they're presenting, and that might set a bad precedent to future ICOs. But yeah, enough about that. They'll maybe get its own thing. Who knows? More importantly is Jaxx wallets. I don't really use any kind of third-party wallets typically. Or let me take that back. I don't use any third-party wallets typically for long term. Sometimes there's short term, I need this for this, and use it and then never use it again half the time. Most of the time I like using official as you can get wallets. And with this Jaxx wallet, apparently there's a security issue to where if someone has access to your network, I think maybe it's either your computer or your network. Hold up, let's see. Yeah, it's anyone with 20 seconds of network access to your PC can extract your 12-word backup phrase and copy it down. And Jaxx does not need to be running for this to happen. So that's a pretty big security risk. Even if they don't have to have like network access or some kind of access to your computer, but still, that's pretty big thing, big exploit that hasn't really been addressed yet. Maybe in the coming weeks it'll be addressed, but according to this blog that basically discovered this little exploit, there's not really a current like going to fix or current priority to address this issue. In good faith, maybe they're doing it now. I don't know. I don't use this wallet. Like I said, I don't like third-party wallets, but maybe if you're one of the like 5 people who watch me and then use Jaxx, well, try to get in contact with them and be like, yo, this needs to be fixed because I don't want all my stuff stolen by malware or whatever. So that's it for this first portion. Well, I guess first and second portion. That was kind of fast. Oh, Mondays. Alright. As per usual, Mondays. Well, I guess this would be the first official Mondays are your mentality Mondays. While Thursdays are like True Talk Thursdays about the externals. This is the internal. And today, since there's all sorts of crashes and other things, we're going to talk about dealing with just dealing with that trade anxiety, because I'm sure everyone has that trade anxiety of, should I sell this now? What should happen now? Oh, I gotta look at my Blockfolio or my exchange wallet or the prices every 5 seconds because I have to be able to sell at a hat at a moment's notice. If I don't sell, I'll mess myself up. So I have to know the price all the time. I'm sure a lot of people have that. Unless you're like some super long holder and you can just not care. And then this isn't applying to you. Maybe there will be something for you in the future, but this is for everyone else, like the 90% of other people. Really, this is just a habit you're going to have to break, which is pretty easy if you like make a habit out of checking it while your stuff is on exchange, because you can actually sell it at a drop of a hat. Just make it like your stop losses or whatever, or you can just set the orders beforehand. If you're super paranoid, they'll dip. So if you just keep your stuff on exchange, which sometimes that's okay, depending on how much you have, but you could solve it that way. If you're someone who's like paranoid and all the way around and have their stuff like in a wallet on your desktop, but you check the prices so you could try to change it and send it to an exchange so you could get it in and sell it as fast as you can, you're gonna have a lot more to work with. Just a lot more of calming yourself down, because first of all, if you have your stuff on a like desktop wallet, and you should know you're probably in this for a decent stretch of time, maybe maybe not a year, maybe not even a few months, but I'd say a few weeks or a few months. Well, just say not a few months, but a few weeks, maybe even a month. If you're checking it every day and one little -5% kills you when it was going up 30, 40, 50% in the past week in total, but this one day it's down 5%, you're freaking out. You should just really realize that you're probably up 50% or something dumb like that in a week or even 2 weeks. But you're stressing out that this is the first day that the unsustainable growth stopped. So it's really just how you look at it. If you entered early, just you really shouldn't be sweating it. But if you're someone who hopped on a party later, I guess the anxiety is a little bit more valid. Which, like I said then, you shouldn't have it really on a desktop wall. You should have it on Exchange and having it set up to where you automatically sell at a certain price. If you're super paranoid that it'll dip. So maybe we should start making that a habit. And I guess that's how I'll close this off. There was a lot of rambling today. I feel like that's just a Monday treat for everyone. Monday's treats are just more rambling, and Thursdays felt, well, the only Thursday so far, it felt more organized. We'll see. But I feel like that's going to be a pattern of Mondays being ramble fest and just kind of more scattered, while Thursdays are more laser focused and targeted. And Mondays is maybe when people sell off, and Thursdays is when you're supposed to buy back because everything's down 20%. But that's besides the point. It's nice having you listen, all like 3 of you, 4 of you. I mean, maybe even 6 of you now. In total, it'd be like 5 of you across all like 3 platforms, I guess. But yeah, thanks to you guys who followed even if you didn't listen. Thanks to the few people who actually listened. And I'll see you Thursday. And join the Discord. It's getting lonely.